What if I told you there's a motorcycle company that's spending over $100 million on product research and development? That's 7% of their entire revenue, across development centers in China, the United States, and Italy. Just landed a Moto3 World Championship and is building bikes that can hit 220 kilometers per hour for thousands less than a KTM 790 Duke? You'd probably think I'm talking about some established giant like Honda or Yamaha, right? Wrong. This is CFMOTO, and their 21% global sales growth with $1.6 billion in profit proves they just made a move so bold that it's sending shockwaves through dealerships worldwide. The numbers don't lie, and how they're turning championship victories into street bikes will completely change how you think about motorcycle value. Ever wonder what happens when a motorcycle company wins a world championship and then puts that exact same tech into bikes you can actually buy? Most companies treat their racing programs like top-secret government projects. They spend millions developing crazy fast prototypes that win races, then lock all that tech away in some vault while selling you watered-down street bikes that share nothing but a logo with their track machines. CFMOTO just threw that whole playbook out the window. When David Alonso crossed the finish line at the Petronas Sepang International Circuit in 2024, securing his 13th victory and 6th consecutive win for the CFMOTO Aspar racing team, something different happened. This wasn't just another trophy for the boardroom. This was the moment CFMOTO proved their racing program could actually make your next bike better. Here's where it gets really interesting. That Moto3 World Championship win wasn't achieved by some completely different company that happens to share the same name. The same engineers who worked on Alonso's championship-winning machine are now sitting in meetings with the guys designing the bikes you can walk into a dealer and buy today. They're not keeping racing secrets locked away in some separate building across town. The 675 SRR is living proof of this direct connection. This thing gets actual Moto3 chassis geometry that was tested at racing speeds on real racetracks. We're talking about suspension tuning that came straight from data collected during those championship races. The high-strength chromium molybdenum frame isn't some marketing department's idea of what looks sporty. It's based on frame flex data that racing engineers pulled from telemetry during actual MotoGP weekends. But here's what makes this even more impressive. CFMOTO's racing program doesn't stop at circuit racing. Their Dakar Rally participation feeds dirt and endurance data straight back into adventure bike development. When your 800 MTX handles rough terrain better than bikes costing twice as much, that's because engineers had access to suspension data from motorcycles that survived some of the most brutal off-road racing on Earth. The 675 SRR's triple-cylinder engine tells the whole story. This 120-degree crank design that pumps out 66 kilowatts at 11,000 revolutions per minute didn't come from some focus group. Racing engineers optimized this engine package using real track data to virtually eliminate vibration while maximizing power delivery. They took lessons learned from machines that had to perform flawlessly at racing speeds and applied them to an engine you can actually afford. Even the 675NK benefits from this racing connection. The LED lighting group design came from studying rider reactions during races to better inform other road users. That's not some random design choice. That's engineers applying racing safety data to make street riding safer. The racing telemetry influence goes deeper than most people realize. Real data from every lap and crash is shaping how these engines breathe and how the frames flex under stress. When CFMOTO says the 675 SRR accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds and hits 220 kilometers per hour, that acceleration curve was refined using data collected from championship-level racing. This isn't just some clever marketing story about racing heritage. David Alonso's feat of 6 consecutive wins hasn't been matched since Valentino Rossi pulled it off in 1997. That level of consistent performance requires engineering precision that most companies never achieve. CFMOTO took that precision and figured out how to build it into bikes that regular riders can actually buy and maintain. What really sets this apart is the timeline. Most companies take years to trickle racing tech down to street bikes, if they ever do it at all. CFMOTO is moving racing innovations from track to showroom in months, not years. The same suspension tuning, frame geometry, and engine management systems that won races are showing up in dealerships, while other companies are still deciding which racing technologies might be worth sharing. The result is something the motorcycle industry hasn't seen before: championship-level performance technology in bikes that don't require championship-level budgets. But when you dig into the actual engines powering these machines, that's where things get really interesting. CFMOTO's 675 engine platform represents something the motorcycle world hasn't seen before: triple-cylinder technology that was once exclusive to expensive European brands, now engineered and built to be accessible to regular riders. For decades, if you wanted that smooth triple-cylinder power delivery, you were looking at premium price tags that put these engines out of reach for most people. The 675 SRR changes that equation completely. This liquid-cooled DOHC triple with a 120-degree crank pumps out 66 kilowatts at 11,000 RPM and delivers 68 Newton-meters of torque at 8,250 RPM. Those aren't just impressive numbers on paper. They translate to real-world performance that accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds and hits a top speed of 220 kilometers per hour. The 120-degree crank design virtually eliminates vibration, so you get all that performance without your hands going numb after 20 minutes of riding. The 675 NK takes that exact same engine platform and wraps it in a naked bike package that makes way more sense for daily riding. Same triple-cylinder powerhouse, but with ergonomics designed for real-world comfort instead of track day positioning. This bike still hits 200 kilometers per hour and gets from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.9 seconds. So you're not giving up much performance for that extra comfort and practicality. Both bikes come with technology that feels surprisingly advanced for their price point. The 5-inch TFT display runs MOTO Play integration that connects with your phone for navigation and music control. The optional T-Box system, with 4G modules and 6D sensors, enables over-the-air upgrades through the CFMOTO Ride app, which means your bike can actually get smarter over time instead of becoming outdated. The 675 SRR houses all this performance in a high-strength chromium molybdenum frame designed for optimal balance and control. The suspension uses fully adjustable upside-down KYB 41mm front forks with a matching rear shock to handle whatever the road throws at you. Braking comes from 300mm front and 240mm rear disc brakes that provide consistent stopping power even when you're using all that triple-cylinder performance. The 675 NK gets dual-channel ABS and 2-level adjustable traction control as standard equipment. The seat height adjusts from 810mm to 825mm, or you can lower it to 795mm with accessories if you need it. The modern LED lighting system provides excellent visibility while maintaining the bike's contemporary styling that was showcased at their Portugal launch event. What CFMOTO accomplished here goes way beyond just building another sport bike or naked bike. They took engine technology that was reserved for expensive European machines and made it accessible to regular riders who don't have unlimited budgets. The 675 SRR and 675 NK prove you can have premium triple-cylinder performance without paying premium prices. This isn't just about making cheaper versions of expensive bikes. CFMOTO built these machines from the ground up with their own engineering and technology. The result is something new: triple-cylinder performance that doesn't require taking out a second mortgage to afford. They cracked the code on building premium engine technology at prices that make sense for actual riders who want performance they can use every day. But CFMOTO's engineering revolution doesn't stop at sport and naked bikes. They've applied this same philosophy of premium capability at accessible prices to an entirely different category of motorcycles that has traditionally been dominated by expensive European machines with luxury price tags. The 700MT and 800MTX represent CFMOTO's answer to overpriced adventure bikes that promise the world but cost more than most people's cars. Instead of charging premium prices for adventure styling, CFMOTO built machines designed for real capability at prices that actually make sense for riders who want to explore without emptying their bank accounts. The 700MT packs a 693 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine optimized for smooth power delivery and robust pulling power across all kinds of riding conditions. This isn't some basic engine dressed up in adventure clothing. CFMOTO designed this power plant specifically for riders who need reliable performance, whether they're commuting through city traffic or heading out on long-distance tours. The 19/17" wheel setup gives you stability on both paved roads and unpaved surfaces, while that 800mm seat height keeps the bike accessible for most riders. That 20-liter fuel tank means serious business when it comes to range. Most adventure bikes give you just enough fuel capacity to get you excited about long trips before reality kicks in at the first gas station. The 700MT lets you actually plan extended rides without constantly worrying about finding the next fuel stop. The ergonomics work for real-world comfort too, with wide handlebars and an adjustable windscreen providing protection from wind without making you feel like you're riding a couch. The suspension setup uses fully adjustable 43mm upside-down front forks, matched with a rear monoshock that provides balanced damping across different terrains. You can customize the ride quality based on what you're planning to do that day. Switchable ABS and traction control give you extra grip and stability when conditions get tricky. The TFT dashboard connects with your smartphone and offers multiple riding modes, plus a quick shifter for smooth shifting whether you're in traffic or on twisty mountain roads. The 800MTX takes everything up several notches for riders who actually plan to use their adventure bikes off-road. This machine delivers a 60 to 40% off-road to on-road balance, which means it's designed for actual dirt work instead of just looking like it could handle dirt work. That 87 Nm of torque gives you the pulling power to climb steep terrain that would leave other bikes spinning their wheels. The 48mm fully adjustable suspension paired with 240mm of ground clearance and 230mm of suspension travel means you can tackle terrain that would make riders on more expensive bikes turn around and head home. Those 21/18-inch spoked wheels handle impacts better than cast wheels, and the 22.5-liter fuel tank extends your range even further into remote areas. Switchable ABS and Bosch traction control keep you in control when the going gets rough. The 800MTX comes loaded with a 7-inch TFT screen, quick shifter, cruise control, and steering damper that provides extra control when the front wheel wants to do its own thing. The improved balancer shaft technology reduces vibration compared to the standard 800MT Explorer, so you can ride longer distances without your hands going numb. Quick-release cases and heated grips exemplify the rider-focused customization options available to tailor each bike to your specific adventure needs. These machines prove that adventure bikes don't need luxury price tags to deliver real capability. CFMOTO focused on building bikes that can actually do what adventure riders want to do instead of just looking the part. The result is purpose-built machines with the technology and engineering to back up their adventure credentials at prices that won't force you to choose between buying the bike and having money left over to actually adventure with it. But having great bikes is only half the equation. The real test comes when you need parts, service, or support after you've made your purchase. CFMOTO understood that building exceptional motorcycles means nothing without the infrastructure to support them. You can engineer the perfect bike, but if customers can't buy it locally or get it serviced when needed, all that development work becomes worthless. The motorcycle industry is littered with brands that created amazing machines but failed because they treated dealer networks like an afterthought. They spent everything on engineering, then expected customers to figure out sales and service on their own. When your high-tech bike breaks down and the nearest qualified technician is hundreds of miles away, that cutting-edge technology doesn't help much. CFMOTO took a different approach entirely. Instead of hoping their dealer network would somehow grow organically, they built the infrastructure first. They've established over 3,000 dealers worldwide across more than 100 countries. That's not just impressive numbers on paper. This represents real locations with trained technicians who can sell, service, and support these advanced motorcycles. The expansion continues aggressively too. CFMOTO plans to add 30 new dealers in the UK alone by 2024. This isn't some vague promise about future growth. This is active expansion happening right now to make sure riders have convenient access to both sales and service. The partnership with KTM through Purer Mobility provides the backbone for this network expansion. Most people think this collaboration is just about sharing engine technology, but it goes much deeper. CFMOTO gains access to decades of distribution expertise and proven methods for setting up dealer networks, training service staff, and managing global supply chains. They're learning from one of the most successful motorcycle distribution operations in the world instead of trying to figure everything out from scratch. Every dealer in their network receives comprehensive training on CFMOTO's advanced technology systems. These aren't basic sales courses. Service technicians learn TFT diagnostics, the CFMOTO Ride app integration, advanced engine management systems, and all the electronic features that make these bikes so capable. When you bring your 675 SRR in for service, the person working on it actually understands how that triple-cylinder engine operates and can troubleshoot the intelligent connectivity features. CFMOTO backs up this network with warranty coverage that shows real confidence in their products. They offer a 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3-year powertrain warranty on their motorcycles. Most manufacturers provide basic coverage because they have to, then try to avoid expensive repairs. CFMOTO is putting their reputation on the line by covering everything for 2 full years and the most critical components for 3 years. This comprehensive coverage makes sense when you consider how much advanced technology these bikes contain. The 4G connectivity modules, over-the-air update systems, and complex electronic management require dealers who understand modern motorcycle technology. CFMOTO isn't launching high-tech bikes into a network of shops that only know basic maintenance. They're ensuring the infrastructure can handle these sophisticated machines before the products hit showrooms. The timing of this network expansion aligns perfectly with their tech-driven model launches. All those advanced features like smartphone integration, multiple riding modes, and electronic suspension adjustments need support from technicians who actually understand how they work. Local dealers can diagnose and repair most issues right there, instead of shipping bikes to distant service centers. What makes this network truly effective is how CFMOTO trains dealers to handle both routine maintenance and complex electronic troubleshooting. The partnership with Pure Mobility ensures technicians have access to the same diagnostic tools and technical knowledge used by established European brands. This infrastructure investment demonstrates something important about how CFMOTO approaches business. They're not just building motorcycles and hoping everything else works out. They're creating an entire ecosystem designed to support riders long after the initial purchase. The results speak for themselves in ways that go far beyond impressive dealer counts. In conclusion, CFMOTO's financial performance validates their entire approach to motorcycle manufacturing. That 21% sales growth and $1.6 billion profit in the first half of 2024 isn't just success. It's proof that riders want advanced technology at fair prices, and CFMOTO is the first company to actually deliver it. They figured out what the motorcycle industry has been getting wrong for years. The future of motorcycling isn't about paying premium prices for premium tech anymore. It's about smart engineering, racing-proven development, and companies that actually listen to what riders need. CFMOTO pioneered this tech-driven approach by combining championship racing pedigree with accessible pricing and a global dealer network that actually supports customers after the sale. Let me know in the comments what you think about CFMOTO's approach to motorcycle manufacturing and whether you've had any experience with their bikes.